Your boy Stingray Cool here. East back with a new show, another show, baby. Welcome to Stingray Cool's podcast. Come like, share, and subscribe. We give you dope, hip, new, fresh stuff. And even when we do talk about what other people talk about, we're gonna hit it with dope, deep, fresh talking points and keep it never hokey. Yep. We talk about the OG, Ryan Simmons, the inventor of the Dominator. Man, Ryan Simmons went through a lot for the black community. Born in Georgia, he also played basketball in Florida. You know, if it wasn't him, there would never been a Rock, there would never been the Big E, there would never been the New Day, would never been Xavier Woods, and never been Kofi Kingston, there would never been Ruckus, there would never been Primetime Elliott Skipper, there would never been Booker T, the Harlem Heats, Stevie Ray, there would never been Ahmad Johnson, there would have never been. Let's see who else we got. See, see, there would never been a. Hmm, what's my money? Hold on, it's some others here. Trying to think of their names. It would never been Elijah Burke. It wouldn't have been none of these black champions. It wouldn't never been. Shoot, just so many. Man, he went through a lot of trouble, especially going wrestling WCW. All the racists had to pursue people spitting at him, throwing stuff at him. I'm assuming they just spit at him. I'm assuming they throw stuff at him. But he went through that for us. First all grace to God for giving me the blessings and may God bless everyone on the show and thank God for giving me the talent to give y'all this good content, and thank God for giving me the wisdom to give you this good content, and thank God for giving me the funness to, to give y'all this good content. All right. But yeah, Ron Simmons went through so many stuff for us. He was the first ever black WCW champion. He beat Van Vader. I think Van Vader was around 500 pounds, 400 pounds. He was Kane before there was a Kane. He was destroying his opponents with the Vader bomb, power bomb, and with the Vader bomb body splash. But Ryan Simmons hit him with that power slam, pin him 1, 2, 3, and became the first ever black WCW champion. And let's go to the legend. Ryan Simmons, also known as Ronald Simmons, was born May 15th, 1958. He's a professional wrestler. He's a retired professional wrestler and a former football player. He performed in World Championship Wrestling, aka WCW, and Extreme Championship Wrestling, aka ECW, under his real name, and World Heavyweight, and also wrestled for World Wrestling Federation, WWF, was now WWE, under both his real names, Farouk Asad, sometimes spelled ASAD, and Farouk, sometimes spelled Farooq. So he's 63 years old. He was born in Perry, Georgia. His alma mater was in Florida State University. Now he still lives in Marietta, Georgia. No, he lives in Marietta, Georgia. But yep, his residence. What's up, young Doug? Telling the story of a black OG legend in the wrestling game, Ryan Simmons. Go check him out. He also wrestled as Doom number one, Farouk or Farouk Assad, and also Farouk Assad, and his birth name Ryan Simmons. His height was 6'2", 188 centimeters. His built weight was 270 pounds, 122 kg. He's built from Warner Robinson, Georgia, Main Street's Farouk Assad. He was trained by Hiru Matasatu. He debuted in 1986. He retired in 2009. His football career his position was defensive tackle. Career information: high school he was, of course, Warner Robins, Georgia. College was Florida State. The NFL draft in 1981, round six, pick 160. His career history: he played for the Cleveland Browns in 1981. He played for Ottawa Rough Riders in 1981. He played for Tampa Bay Bandits 1983 to 1985. All season, indoor practice, squad member only. His career highlights was two consistent All Americans 1979, 1980, Florida State Seminoles, jersey number 50, honored. Now this You know, here we go, his wrestling career. That was his little football career. Now we're about to go into his wrestling. In WCW, Simmons was a one-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion. As the first African American to win the title, he is recognized by WWE as the first Black World Champion in professional wrestling history. He also a one-time WCW Tag Team World Tag Team Champion with Butch Reed, and a one-time WCW United States Tag Team Champion with Big Josh. In the WWF, he was the three-time WWF Tag Team Champion with Bradshaw, the Master of the Clothesline, as one half of the Acolytes Protection Agency. And no, Acolytes was with the Ministry of Darkness. I think that was his first heel turn. That was the Brood was with the Ministry of Darkness for a little bit. That was Gangrel, Edge, Christian. Had Midian, Rest Priest Viscera, you know, aka Mabel, aka Big Daddy V, as he would do. You know, I mean, he's killer with that chops he'll do like that, like boom. But yeah, Mabel. I think he was born in South Carolina or North Carolina. I'm gonna have to do some content on him soon. When he was in like for the kids was born, like he didn't know about wrestling in the late '90s. He wasn't like he didn't have the Mabel look. He had the white contacts, the black pupils, the blind mohawk, and the full body black suit. Farouk had like the long black tights and the big black armbands, and those, of course, the no signature duct tape. And he had like the acolytes painting, you know, because they was playing like the gimmick of a cult, a sinister cult. But yeah, Farouk had that dominated. We put you on the shoulder like there, boom, something for on your body. Bob Lashley does it, and Hernandez did it. But Farouk is the originator of, well, Ryan Simmons is the originator of that movie's a hurt, boy. I mean, it looked like it hurt. I ain't never got hit with it. Because he'll put you on the shoulder like that, and boom, slam forwards on your body. You know, all your chest and face is hitting that mat. Stage or not, that mat does hurt from what a lot of professional wrestlers say. So even if it stays, that mat still hurt, especially on the corner side where ain't no budge. I mean, Fruit was like a powerhouse. He's like the black Lex Luger, who's also from Georgia and best friends with Farouk. Let me see. Simmons was sporadic world title contender between ECW and the WWF and led the stable, the Nation of Domination. In the later promotion, he was inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2012. Prior to becoming a professional wrestler, Simmons was an American college and pro football player who was a defensive tackle in the National Football League, NFL, Canadian Football League, CFL, and United States Football League, USFL. For 4 seasons during the 1980s, he played college football for Florida State University, FSU, and was recognized as an all-time and was recognized as an All-American. He played professionally for the NFL's Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns. Cleveland is definitely in the house. That's in your neck of the woods, young Doug. Cleveland. Shoot. So yeah, like put y'all names on the map. You know. See. In the CFL's Ottawa Rough Riders, in the USFL's Tampa Bay, his football career. Ron Simmons, while playing for the Florida State University in 1981, Ron Simmons was considered one of Florida State's greatest recruiting victories when he signed out of high school. Simmons played 4 years, 1977 to 1980, as a defensive nose guard at FSU under coach Bobby Bowden, whom Simmons described as a second father. That's good. Earning conspicuous All-American honors in 1979 and 1980. The Seminoles were 39 and 8. During Simmons' years at school, finishing the Associate Press top 20 times 77 and 79, 77, 79, and 80, and earning back-to-back Orange Bowl trips after Simmons' junior and senior years. In 1979, Simmons finished ninth in the Heisman voting behind the winner, Charles White of USC. In 1988, Simmons' jersey number 50 was retired by FSU. That's true. That's good. The third time a number has been retired in school history, Simmons was inducted into the Orange Bowl Hall of Fame for his accomplishments. While playing at Florida State, he was elected to the College Football Hall of Fame in 2008. Excellent, black excellence right there. Professional football. He later had a brief career in the National Football League (NFL), selected in the sixth round of the 1981 NFL Draft. He played for the Cleveland Browns in 1981 and 1982 in the USFL's Tampa Bay Bandits from 1983 to 1985. And it was in Tampa where he was teammate of future professional wrestler Lex Luger, as he would do the total package. Lex Luger. Professional wrestling career. Jim Crockett Promotions World Championship Wrestling, early years 1986 to 1988. Simmons joined Jim Crockett Promotions. Shout out to Jim Crockett, another legend, for giving this a future Hall of Famer and later on a legend in the black community uh, a chance in wrestling. In 1986, appearing on the first show of the Great American Bash Tour when he defeated the Tahitian Prince in Lakeland, Florida on July 1st. Simmons wrestled only primarily level competition that summer, but on August 7th, he scored the biggest victory of his career when he defeated Ivan Koloff in St. Louis. Which, Ivan Koloff a pretty big dude too himself. I don't know much about him, but I think it's safe to say he's one of the best. See, the rookie Simmons defeated the likes of a young Rodney Anoa'i, aka Yokozuna. Now, rest in peace, Yokozuna. Died in 1999 when, yeah, I think I would have been like 8 years old. And the Barbarian, who's also Samoan. I used to think Barbarian was black, and I found out he's Samoan, which it don't matter. He's still cool either way. He just had that darker skin complexion. On October 24th episode of Power Pro Wrestling, he became involved in his first televised angle when he was attacked by Tiger Conway Jr. and Shaska Whiteley in an interview. He remained undefeated in singles actions until finally losing to Ivan Koloff on a house show at the Omni in Atlanta, ATL, Atlanta, Georgia Stand Up, home of Goody Mob, Outkast, Young Bloods, and Baby, Lil Baby, and of course, the Migos. See, on February 14th, 1988, Simmons was dominant through the first half of the year against low-level competition on the house shows, including Watley, the Terminator. Simmons teamed with Steve Williams at the third annual Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup in Greenville, South Carolina. South Carolina stand up. On April 22nd, 1988, they were defeated by the opening round by Mike Rotunda and Kevin Sullivan when Simmons was hit with a foreign object. And here we go. One of the legendary black tag teams of that time from 1989 to 1991. I was born in 1990, so I got to be born in the era of one of the greatest black tag teams, Doom. This one, Ryan Simmons had the mask and his partner had the mask. He was like these big, swole black guys whooping tail, taking butts, taking names, and all that good stuff. That's like the Black Legion of Doom. Rest in peace, Hawk, rest in peace, Animal, who both went to heaven. Soon after, in March 1989, Simmons began showing signs of a heel turn as he got more aggressive in his matches, including a non-title match against fellow babyface, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Ricky the Steamboat, aka the Master of the Crossbody, as he would do the Dragon. See. In a match on April 29th, 1989 episode of World Championship Wrestling, where he broke the rules during what was supposed to be a face-to-face match against Junkyard Dog, aka the Master doing that. Junkyard Dog, another excellent black wrestler, gone but not forgotten. Simmons won the match when the referee Ron's future manager Teddy Long, the master of thugging and bugging, as he would do. You gotta watch Teddy Long's content. You see where I got that from. AKA, let me holler at you, player. Holla, 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 holla. See. Made a fast count. Long was fired. Kayfabe. Basically, he didn't really get fired, but for the skit. As a referee by Jim Hurd. Immediately following this match, he completed his heel turn on the May 27th completed. Oh yeah, May 27th on the May 27th episode of World Championship Wrestling during a tag team match where he teamed with Ranger Ross against the Samoan SWAT team as a part of the tournament for the vacant NWA World Tag Team Championship. Leaving him in the ring along with Long came out. Simmons later teamed with Butch Reed, another OG legend, to form Doom. Doom. In the beginning, the members of Doom were masked and only known as Doom Number One and Doom Number Two. One, two. Managed by a woman in the pay-per-view debut at Halloween Havoc 1989, a year before the Sting was born. Doom defeated the Steiner brothers, Scott and Rick Steiner, two powerhouse, aggressive, brutal, technical, and sometimes high-flying wrestlers in themselves. Big Papa Pump, he was known for doing this. He just Steiner recliner like a modified version of the Iron Sheik's camel clutch. Check it out on the internet. And because Rick Steiner had the bulldog, aka the dog faced gremlin, as he would do. That was like two Kurt Angles. They kind of run that Olympic style to wrestling, but they had the hybrid style. That was Olympic half line brawlers, hardcore. They used chairs and weapons, steel chairs, tables, ladders, if they had to. Well, not the ladders, but and all that kind of cool stuff. Let's see. In the Iron Team tournament at Starcade 1989, Doom finished fourth, losing all three of their matches. Doom's misfortune continued as women soon uh, dropped the team to manage the Four Horsemen, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and I forgot the other two. But eventually Lex Luger and Chris Mowat. Rest in peace, Chris Mowat. And I think Dean Malenko eventually became part of Four Horsemen. You know, then on February 6, 1990, at Clash of the Champions, X Doom hit rock bottom when they were defeated by Rick and Scott Steiner. As a result of the stipulation, were forced to unmask. With new manager alone, they rebounded and defeated the Steiner brothers for the NWA World Tag Team Championship at Capital Combat in 1990. That's awesome. They held the title for 9 months, defeated by teams like Rock and Roll Express and feuding with the Four Horsemen. Among them, among their most memorable encounters during their title reign was a street fight against Horseman Arn Anderson, master of the Boom Spine Buster, and Barry Whitney. I think he did the crossbody. You know, I don't know much about these older wrestlers because I was more in the '90s. I know about The Rock, Kane, Stone Cold, Triple H, the NWO, the DX, Wolfpack. Well, yeah, Conan, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, rest in peace. See, rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. Man, Eddie Guerrero, rest in peace. One of the OG legends. Actually, would be like Latina Heat. See, who else? That's when like doggone. Just like the aggressive Kane came out. This wasn't like the nice friendly Kane you see now. Before the PG-13 came, you had like doggone Steve Blackman, Al Snow, all them. D'Lo Brown, another wrestler who Farouk made a pathway up for when he was like the leader of Nation Domination. D'Lo Brown was on there. Mark Henry was on there. He made a pathway for Mark Henry too. Godfather was on there, but at that time he was called My Mustafa. Mustafa something. What Mustafa? Might have been Mustafa Ali. Well, Mustafa. Big swole dude with the tattoos. Godfather also was known as Papa Shango, the voodoo man with the white face paint. That was pretty cool. Then he was known as Supreme. Let's see who else. Oh yeah. And with Starcade 1990 was ended in a no contest when Whittam pinned Simmons while Reed simultaneously pinned Anderson. Doom was recognized as the first holders of the WCW World Tag Team Championship in January 1991, finally losing the titles to the Freebirds at Wrestle War in February 1991. Subsequently, Doom broke up with Simmons, turning face and feuding with Reed, defeating him in a cage match. That's cool. At the very first Super Brawl, Simmons defeated mid-carders, including Oz and the Diamond Stud, then successfully challenged Les Luger for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship at Halloween Havoc, losing the best of three falls match and one fall to two. Now here we go. World Heavyweight Championship and final storylines in 1992 to 1994. Simmons spent the first half of 1992 feuding with Cactus Jack, Bang Bang, aka Mick Foley, aka Dude Love, aka Mankind, whom he defeated via pinfall at Super Brawl 2 on August 2nd, 1992 at the house show in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay, Baltimore in the house. And scheduled title match between Sting, ooh, another famous Stinger, not me, Stingray Cool, but Sting, woo, aka Mr. NWO Red, aka NWO Wolfpack, aka Mr. NWO Wolfpack, aka the Stinger, aka it's Showtime, folks. You know, he had the short blonde hair, the surfboard look. Then he had the crow look with the wild white face paint with the black design, long black hair, and mysterious gimp with the bat. Then he had like when he was with the NWO, you know, he had like the red face paint with the black design and long black hair. He was kind of less mysterious, you know, when he joined the NWO. But yeah, another famous thing. But don't be mistaken, I'm also a famous thing too. Stingray Cool. And WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Big Van Vader, aka it's Vader time. The Mastodon, no rest in peace. Van Vader was canceled by actor Jake Roberts, kayfabe injured Sting. WCW President Bill Watts responded by holding a raffle to determine the number one contender. Simmons won the raffle and defeated Van Vader with a snap scoop slam. Basically, went boom. Let's go on the internet and hit Ryan Simmons defeating Van Vader, and you see what I'm talking about. That was a dope win. That showed the true power of Ryan Simmons. You know, to pick up a big 500-pound dude like Van Vader and slam him, that takes a lot of power. And I think he was known for repping a lot when he was playing football, and he's a very strong man. Well, you know, when he was younger, you know, he don't wrestle no more. See, to win the championship by defeating Vader, Simmons became the first recognized African American WCW World Heavyweight Champion and the second African American wrestler to win the World Heavyweight title. Simmons held the title for 5 months. He continued to feud with Cactus Jack, with Jack bringing in the Barbarian, to challenge Simmons at Halloween Havoc at Starcade. Simmons was scheduled to wrestle Rick Rude as he would do the Ravishing One, Rick Rude. That ain't my best Rick Rude impersonation, but that's something he used to do. But due to Rude being injured with face Dr. Death, Steve Williams instead wrestled to a double countout and was changed to a disqualification win for Simmons. When Williams attacked him after the match, his title reign ended 2 days later in December 30th, 1992, when Vader defeated him to regain the title. Afterwards, Simmons was relegated to the mid-card status, eventually becoming a bitter heel who felt like the fans abandoned him after he lost the championship. Simmons unsuccessfully challenged Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, for the United States Heavyweight Championship, and Paul Orndorff, as he would do, Paul Orndorff, for the World Television Championship. During his last months with WCW in the spring of 1994, Simmons was working for WCW without being signed to a contract. Also, Simmons was briefly managed by Sherry Martel. During the time, Simmons competed in the European Cup tournament, winning his first round match against Marcus Bagwell, aka Buff Bagwell, as we do. Buff is the stuff. I guess back in the day, a lot of people was known for doing poses like that because wrestling got sharp muscles, but they don't got muscles like Stingray. Cool, brother. Ugh. What you gonna do when the power of the Stingray once while on you? Uh, okay. And he won the first round match against Marcus Bagwell, but lost the next round to Sting. He would go on to feud with Sting and Bagwell, mostly competing in tag matches. His final match was a win over Scott Armstrong on the September 10th, 1994 edition of WCW Worldwide. Now here we go. ECW, as they would say, ECW, 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 ECW. Extreme Championship Wrestling, 1994 to 1995. Simmons appeared in Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, from late 1994 to early 1995. During the time, he was unsuccessfully challenged World Heavyweight Champion Shane Douglas in November to Remember and had matches with Mikey Ripfrack and 911 in 9/11. World, now here we go. This really what helped made him famous, kept his legacy going. Here we go. World Wrestling Federation slash Entertainment, also known as WWF, then changed to WWE. The Nation of Domination. As I would say, we are the nation of domination. And from 1996 to 1998, after ECW, Simmons joined the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, aka the WWF, and made his debut on July 22nd, 1996. Awesome. Episode of Monday Night Raw, his first gimmick was that of Farouk Assad, a gladiator street thug who wore a black and blue gladiator outfit with a misshaped helmet and was managed by Sonny. Sonny, he always managed the greats for him. I think he also managed the Nasty Boys and different people. I don't think he ever managed the Steiner Brothers. And I don't think he ever managed the Legion of Doom, but he managed a lot of people. Simmons started his first feud with Ahmad Johnson, another black wrestler, before shortening his ring name to Farouk. The feud was started when Farouk attacked Ahmad during a tag team match, pitting Johnson and Shawn Michaels. Mr. Sexy Boy, Heartbreak Kid, as he would do, against the Smoking Guns. As a result of injuries sustained, Johnson vacated the Intercontinental title in the subsequent tournament. Farouk lost in the finals to Mark Merrill. Mark Merrill, he was alright. In November 1996, Farouk dropped his gladiator gimmick and parted ways with Sonny and formed the Nation of Domination, aka NOD. A stable loosely based off the Nation of Islam and the Black Panther Party. Although the members of the stable were not exclusively African American, mostly feuded with Ahmad Johnson at the Royal Rumble 1997. Johnson defeated Farouk by disqualification. In the Royal Rumble match, Johnson eliminated himself when he saw Farouk in the aisles and chased after him. Later in the same match, Farouk was eliminated when Johnson returned and attacked him by 2x4 at WrestleMania 13. Johnson recruited the Legion of Doom in a win effort against the entire nation in a Chicago street fight. As they say, LOD, LOD, LOD. After losing the WWF Championship, The Undertaker at the 1997, aka Dead Man Walking, Fruit blamed Crust and Savio Vega. No, shout out to Savio Vega. He's still kicking it strong in wrestling. The master of the kendo stick. One of my Puerto Rican bonicuas, as they would say, for his loss and threw them out of the NOD, aka the Nation of Domination. Both formed their rival factions known respectively as Disciples of Apocalypse and Los Boricuas. Basically, Crust formed Disciples of Apocalypse, like a cool white bike gang type gimmick. And of course, Los Boricuas, the Savio Vega formed the Los Boricuas, like a cool hip Puerto Rican gang, in wrestling. And Farouk recruited more African American members for the nation, including half Samoan, Rocky Maivia, aka The Rock, aka the Great One, aka the People's Champ. If you smell what the Rock is cooking. Yep, this before he was the Rock. It wasn't a Hollywood gimmick back in 2003. It wasn't a hip gimmick yet. It was early years Rock, like the first year Rock when he had the curly hair and the Samoan attire. He always had short tights. But this is a young Rock. This before his career blew up and he went Hollywood. Playing the Scorpion King was the first movie he did, and now pretty soon he's about to play the Black Adam. Between 2000 and 2002 when the Scorpion King came out, but in 2001 he did have a little cameo in Mommy Return. 2003 I think he did the Rundown. But I think between them and years, I think he got like over 20 movies between 2001, well, and now 2021, 2022. So whoever guessed he was gonna blow up, become a major superstar. See, that's the grace of God. See who else we got. Oh yeah, the three stars feuded with one another throughout 1997. In the summer of 1997, Farouk again lost the tournament final for the Intercontinental Championship, the time of Owen Hart after Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Because Owen Hart, no, may he rest in peace. The Black Heart, also what he was called, the brother of the legendary Bret Hart. You got Jim Anvil, rest in peace. British Bulldog, rest in peace. And you got Brian Pillman, rest in peace. They formed the Hart Foundation. But after that, Owen Hart turned heel, turned on them, and joined up with the Nation Domination, later known as the Black Heart, aka Owen Hart, the Black Heart. See, after Stone Cold Steve Austin interfered, Austin, who had fortified the title due to injury inflicted by Hart, wanted Hart to win so he could again beat him for the title. That's when like Owen Hart power jobbed him the wrong way, and he dropped on his butt, stood on his knees, and broke Stone Cold's neck. He had to be out of rest for a long time. Austin wanted to destroy him. And this one like a fake, made up storyline. MG, he really did get injured. In the early 1998, Farouk's leadership of the NOD, aka the Nation of Domination, was increasingly challenged by Mavia, aka The Rock, who had shortened his name to The Rock and felt he should be the leader as he was now Intercontinental Champion in a Royal Rumble match. All five NOD members were in the ring at the same time, frequently brawled with each other. Farouk even eliminated his fellow member D'Lo Brown, the real deal now, and Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. The world's strongest man. AKA Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. The power lifter, the brother with more muscles than you can think of. He was one of the final three, along with The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Farouk wanted The Rock to help him eliminate Austin, but The Rock refused and eliminated Farouk. The following month at No Way Out, the Nation of Domination lost a 10-man tag team to Ken Shamrock, the master of the ankle lock, before there was Kurt Angle and Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger wrestling AEW now. I forgot his AEW name. The Nation of Domination lost a 10-man tag to Ken Shamrock. The Nation of Domination lost a 10-man tag to Ken Shamrock, Ahmad Johnson, Chains, Skull, and 8 Ball. When The Rock submitted to an ankle lock by Shamrock, after the match, Farouk and The Rock almost came to blows at WrestleMania XIV, probably like WrestleMania 15 and stuff like that. Farouk and Kama was successful. Oh, that's what Godfather's name was, Akama, when he was with Nation Domination. Before then he was Kama Supreme. Then before then he was Papa Shango. Then later he became the Godfather, which is more known because they made him more popular. You know, as he would say, pimping ain't easy. And later in the evening, Farouk was the only NOD member absent from The Rock's title defense against Ken Shamrock. When Shamrock put The Rock in the ankle lock, Farouk ran down the ring but decided against helping him and walked off, with the crowd cheering his decision, thus turning him face. Nation Domination was heels. Translation bad guys. Faces faces translation good guys. Farouk turned face once again. Yeah. Following night on Raw's War, Rock assumed leadership of the Nation of Domination, kicked Farouk out the group. Farouk spent the next several months feuding with his former stablemates. Now here we go. Acolytes, one of the tag teams, that really made Farouk famous as a tag team competitor. APA, along with Bradshaw, the master of the clothesline. 1998 to 2004. After being dumped from the nation, Farouk feuded with The Rock but failed to win the Intercontinental Champion title. Simmons then teamed with briefly Too Cold Scorpio, aka the James Brown of wrestling. In the late 1998, Simmons began teaming with Bradshaw as the Acolytes, a violent tag team sporting occult symbolism on their tights and chests. They were managed by the Jackal until he left the WF, at which point they were reintroduced as members of the Ministry of Darkness, Undertaker, Dark Sadistic Group, Undertaker, Midian, Farouk, Bradshaw, Viscera, managed by the late great Paul Bearer, aka Mr. Oh yes, my Undertaker get you. The man with the light voice. Go check out Paul Bearer. You'll see where that personation came from. He was a good actor because you hear his natural voice compared to his character to his character voice, aka his Paul Bearer voice. You would never guess it. His voice is completely different, and that's the power of good acting. But he used to be like, "My Undertaker will destroy you." Oh yes, he will absorb your soul. Yeah. See. Yep. We introduced the Ministry of Darkness, the Undertaker acolytes, recruited Phoenix, I, Godwin, and Mabel. Godwin, Phoenix, I. See. I guess that'd be like who became Gangrel. Godwin, he became Midian. Mabel, of course, became Viscera. The ministry by kidnapping and brainwashing them, renaming them Midian and Viscera. Oh, it's Phoenix I Godwin who became Midian, and of course Mabel became Viscera. All right, you had to make sure the Phoenix I Godwin is all together. See. Respectively, and feuded with the Undertaker's rivals such as Degenerates X and The Brood. The Brood. I remember the Brood used to have the Brood bath and they just be getting up on wrestles and the lights come out and blood just fall on them. That was dope. Check out the Brood entrance in the Brood. You'll see what I'm talking about. The later which joined the ministry as well. During the times, the Acolytes had two short reigns as tag team champions. They defeated the team of Kane and as Kane would do, then the fire just come up. And X Pac. I can't do the DX chop, crotch chop, but we just do that. But lost the title to the Hardy Boys, North Carolina own. The Hardy Boys, Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. Team Extreme. Jeff Hardy had the Swanton Bomb. Matt Hardy had the leg drop, and they both had Twist of Fate, like a modified Stone Cold Stunner and RKO. At the fully loaded pay per view in 1999, they won the title back in the no disqualification handicap match against the Hardy Boys and Michael Hayes. Excuse me. Their second reign ended when they lost the title to Kane and X Pac. After that, The Undertaker suffered an injury in late 1999. The Ministry of Darkness disbanded. Farouk and Bradshaw continued to team with another with one another and eventually adopted the gimmick of two brawlers who enjoyed drinking beer and smoking cigars. After Bradshaw began hiring out the services of the acolytes as mercenaries and bodyguards, which that was a good storyline. Check out the acolytes. See, yeah, the tag team was renamed the Acolytes Protects Agency. Yeah, APA. Around this time, Farouk adopted his D word gimmick. It rhymes with spam. Catchphrase: the tag team won their third tag team title by defeating the Dudley Boys. The Dudleys, as Deep say, "Oh my brother, testify!" Another hardcore brutal tag team champion. They was in ECW first. Then they wrestled for WWE, TNA, Japan, Mexico. They won, I think, they're 13 time tag team champions. It might not be 13, but they won a lot of belts. They had a lot of gold around them waists. Sis. They had the 3D. Boom. Bubba had the bubble bomb butt buster, and he had the bubble cutter, like a version of DDP's diamond cutter finisher. Devon had the saving grace, like a modified slam, where he grabbed by your neck and boom, slam you on your back. Well, he grab by your neck and slam you in your body. No, he get you like that, grab by your neck, slam you in your back. Boom. They had the Devon net breaker where he put you on turnbuckle, get you like that, and jump. Boom. Them moves hurt. In June 2001, but lost the titles following the month to Diamond Dallas Page and Chris Canyon when Test interfered. Ironically, I didn't even know they lost to Diamond Dallas Page. I'm missing that. AK, the master of the diamond cutter. I remember back in the days when his shirts he used to have a shirt that was like that, and it was like in the blue diamond when he was with WCW. Those shirts sold like hotcakes. It's like the NWO shirts, or the NWO red shirts. NW Hollywood, aka NWO White, they shirts never sell that much, but NW red shirts and Diamond Dallas Page shirts sell like it wasn't nothing. The APA team together until 2002 when Farouk was drafted to the SmackDown brand. Around this time, Ron Simmons began wrestling under his real name. As the terrorist group Al Qaeda had training camps called Al Farouk, Simmons had a brief heel run when he teamed with Reverend Devine, another person I mentioned earlier, and he teamed with him until he left television on December 2002. But in June 2003, he returned to WWE with Bradshaw and APA reunited. In his last WWE storyline, he was fired by SmackDown General Manager Paul Heyman. Shout out to Paul Heyman, who he was created ECW. He know how to talk. He could talk. He could sell stink to a skunk. He could sell flying to a fly. He could sell stink to crap. He could sell hooves to a donkey. He could sell horns to a cow. He could sell teeth spots to a cheetah. That's how good he was. And he's still a good legend now. He want to help bring Brock Lesnar to the top of the map for being the mouthpiece because he's one of the best managers I say, along with the late great Paul Bearer and also Bobby Heenan. Is General Man Paul? Oh yeah. So basically got fired. Kayfabe translation. He was getting too old to wrestle, so he got kayfabe fired by Paul Heyman. After the APA lost the match for the WWE Tag Team Championships, it was assumed that the APA was fired, but Heyman told Bradshaw he was allowed to stay. Simmons retired from his in-ring career, accusing Bradshaw of not being a faithful friend in the storyline. In reality, Simmons had been planning on retired due to his health and age and became doing his health. So basically, he planned his retirement doing himself and age and became a backstage agent for the company. Was let go the day this angle aired on SmackDown. He had sporadic appearances in Hall of Famer 2006 to present. In 2006, during a rebroadcast in 1981, Orange Bowl of Sun Sports, Simmons stated that since his retirement from professional wrestling, he would like to continue or even improve his role within WWE. Starting on October 23rd, 2006, he began making short cameos on Raw to say his catchphrase, the D word. It rhymes with spam, ham, lamb. Often in all of the shock at odd occurrences. On the November 20th, 2006 edition of Raw, Simmons was chosen by Ric Flair. Woo! North Carolina own, Charlotte's own Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, the style and profiling, jet flying, airplane riding, car driving, women getting Diamond making player. Goon. He was chosen by Ric Flair to replace the injured Roddy Piper. Woo, the hot rod at the Survivor Series to take on the Spirit Squad. Nikki Bella, the Spirit Squad, they wrestled DX, in early 2006. Dolph Ziggler, he came from there when he was Kareem's White, aka Chopper Guerrero, like little bus boy, what do you call it? After he left doing that, he joined the Spirit Squad, the cheerleading school team gimmick people. Then he became Dolph Ziggler, who's now a legend in his own right, who's now a legend now, you know. Because when he went solo, he really showed y'all what he can do. He came from playing the goofy boy to the tough boy, aka the show off. Survivor Series, yeah, take on Spirit Squad. He was the first to be eliminated via countout on the January 15th, 2007 episode of Raw. He was seen in the ring with Chris Masters, the Masterpiece, in the Master Lock Challenge, which ended prematurely after interference from Super Crazy. I'm super, I'm crazy. One of Mexico's own top wrestlers who wrestled in ECW, WCW, WWE, Lucha Libre. Ooh, there's more of that. That's delicious. Apple juice. Yeah, but super crazy. He was crazy with the moonsaults. No pun intended. Simmons escaping the Master Lock was not recognized on July 27th, 2007 edition of SmackDown. Simmons was named the best man for Theodore Long and Crystal's wedding. Simmons also feuded with Santino Marella, aka the Italian one. He's always got people poopy pants. The master of the Cobra. 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 But yeah, episode of Raw, Simmons was attacked by Maria Morales on the September 24th, 2007 edition of Raw, returned to the ring and defeated Santino Morales by counter after Morales left the ring and walked out. Simmons occasionally competed on WWE Heat, taking on jobbers from the town in which show is being taped. At the end of each match, Simmons held the microphone, pulling it towards away from his mouth while the crowd cheered him until he eventually uttered his catchphrase. On December 3rd, 2007, episode of Raw, Simmons and Bradshaw were hired by Hornswoggle to help him go. On Raw's 800th episode on November 3rd, 2008, Simmons interrupted wrestlers who were dancing in the ring with his catchphrase during the 2008 Slammy Awards. He gave the Great Khali the award for the D-word moment of the year. Simmons was released from WWE on January 13, 2009 due to budget cuts, but repeatedly reappeared on various WWE responses. Of course, Simmons was also credited for being the first ever WCW World Heavyweight Champion. That's what we talk about. Black excellence right there. In 2012, Simmons was introduced in the WWE Hall of Fame. In 2014, Simmons made several appearances for Maryland Championship Wrestling Anthem Armageddon Tour. Simmons appeared on the Raw 25 Years show on January 22nd, 2018. In other media, Simmons is a playable character in several wrestling video games, including WWF Warzone, WWF Attitude, WWF WrestleMania 2000, WWF No Mercy, WWF SmackDown, WWF SmackDown 2, Know Your Role, WWF SmackDown Just Bring It, WWE WrestleMania 8, Wrestling SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. Now, his championships and accomplishments, of course, though he won the Wrestling Championship Wrestling from Florida, NWA Florida Heavyweight Champion, one time, Memphis Champion, MCW Southern Tag Team Champion, one time with Bradshaw, Ohio Valley Wrestling, aka OVW Southern Tag Team Champion, one time with Bradshaw, and Pro Wrestling Illustrated. He was considered Inspirational Wrestler of the Year in 1992, 92, 92, 92. Ranked number 20 on the top 500 singles wrestlers of PWA 500 in 1992. In WCW, of course, the World Heavyweight Champion one time, WCW NWA Tag Team Champion one time with Butch Reed, WCW United States Tag Team Champion one time with Big Josh, World Wrestling Federation slash WWE, WWF World Tag Team Champion three times with Bradshaw, WWE Hall of Fame Class of 2012, and that's the story of Farouk, aka Ron Simmons, and that's the story. You know, much love, peace out. Until next time, come check me out when I get you my Temptations uh episode. Peace. God bless.